Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we go over the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. And we're going to kick this episode off with a bit of admin before we dive into what is likely going to be a big episode. If you can recall, last week I said that we had a lot of news to talk about and share from the week prior. It was a crazy week, and last week was surprisingly no different. We were pretty much flat stick, working our butts off, getting the news out, pumping out as much as we could, getting everybody clued up on the latest and most exciting. And so this episode will be quite lengthy, but we're going to start off with details on our award season, or Stacked award season, because the next 2 months are going to be pretty interesting from Monday the 15th of November, roughly. I think that's when that is exactly when it starts. So what's going to happen is we're going to combine basically our Protein Awards, which is our annual protein powder contest, and our Brand of the Year Awards. Now, the Protein Wars is, if you've heard us talk about it before, you're probably very familiar. It's pretty much what we do for the Clash of the Cans. So we get every protein powder out there that we've shared on Stacked, and we put it in a big list. And we also have a box where you can enter your own protein powder, your favorite one, if it's not on the list. And we get you to vote once per week, or once per round. And then of that first big list of just usually somewhere in the realm of 100 protein powders, we take the top 16, and then we do four groups of four, and we take the winner from each of those. We run that for a week. Then we do 2 groups of 2, take the winners from that. Then we have the grand final, and then the winner is crowned Protein Wars champion. So that contest for 2021 is kicking off on Monday, the 15th of November. The winner will take home a custom championship ring. We've done these every year, I think for the past 3 years, if I recall correctly. The first one I went to Man Sports ISO protein powder, where we came out with a silver and black, completely custom. These are completely custom rings. The only one made. As much as I like a second, I don't have anywhere near enough money to get myself 2 of these. They're one of a kind, truly one of a kind. And Man Sports won the first one. The second one went to Ghost, which was a mix of, I think it had a touch of red in there and black and silver. And then last year's one went to Progen, which I still actually have and have yet to catch up with them and pass on. And that was for Jim Stoppani's Pro Gym. And they were last year's champion. And so they'll be looking to defend their title this year. And of course, once again, this year we have our a completely new championship ring. Last year's one was a very glamorous mix of silver and gold, and this year's one, I think we try and make them different each year, but this year's one is going to have a bit of resemblance. The stones and the settings are going to be a little bit different, but it's going to still be a nice mix of gold and silver, but I think we're doing more gold, and we've also got a couple colors in there for like a sunburst effect. We've got red, orange, and yellow stones. I've seen the render will be up on the site this week, and you'll be able to check it out. But yeah, so this year's champion will take home that, again, one of a kind. And that all kicks off on Monday, the 15th of November. Now, as I said, we're mixing Protein Wars with our annual Brand of the Year Awards. And if you will have heard over the past few episodes and on the site, we've introduced a couple of new categories this year on top of the ones we introduced a couple of years ago. So it's really going to be a pretty intense awards season, like I said, over the next couple months. If you can remember last year, what we did for our Brand of the Year Awards is we announced the nominees one week, and then we announced the winner the week after. So we're going to be following that same sort of method over the next couple months in November to December, because again, we've got 6 categories this year. We have Functional, Newcomer, International, Overall Brand of the Year. Then we have the new one, Energy Drink Brand of the Year, and we have Brand of the Decade. And so the way it's going to work is Protein Wars is arguably the start of the whole thing, when that kicks off on Monday the 15th. And then during that week, we're also going to be announcing the winner of our one of our Brand of the Year categories. And then basically from there, every week for the next 7 weeks, we'll be announcing some sort of champion winner or crowning whatever. So it's the way it's going to work is the week prior to Protein Wars, we're going to have the nominees for Functional Brand of the Year. And then the week of, then the week later, we'll announce the winner. So basically the week of Protein Wars, we'll announce the winner of Functional Brand of the Year. And then the week after that, we'll give you the Newcomer of the Year. So the week of November 22nd. And so in the week prior, we'll have the nominees. So again, it's a very, very mixed batch, very busy. So just to give you a quick recap and myself, the week of November 15th, we'll start the Protein Wars, announce Functional Brand of the Year winner, and then the nominees of Newcomer of the Year. The week after, we'll get the winner of the Newcomer of the Year, and then the Energy Drink Brand of the Year nominees. Week after that, we'll get the Energy Drink Brand of the Year winner, then the International Brand of the Year nominees. Then the week after that, we'll get the International Brand of the Year winner. We then have a little bit of a break because the week after that, we'll announce the winner of the Protein Wars, and that week we'll bring the nominees for Brand of the Decade, and then Brand of the Decade will be announced the week after, followed by the nominees for Overall Brand of the Year, and then the final week, December 27th, the week of, so the week after Christmas, we will announce the Overall Brand of the Year winner. So as I said, it's a pretty jam-packed awards season. Don't be surprised if we announce the nominees a little earlier. I think like for the Brand of the Year and Brand of the Decade, we might bring them forward and switch some around just to give people a little bit of time to, I guess, get excited or whatever. But basically from the week of November 15th, we'll have a winner, title, champion announced every week for 7 weeks consecutively. Indeed, making what will be the Stacked Awards season. So it's going to be a jam-packed week. We're going to have hopefully a lot of reward, well-earned, deserved champions and title holders and a winners crowned. It should be fun. Again, it's all in the name of fun, all based on what we see, what we like, and everything like that. So hopefully you appreciate it and enjoy it. And for the Protein Wars, all we ask is just participate. Things like that, getting views and interactions and participation is really big for these things. And that's generally all we ask for, is that you visit the site daily, check out, read as many stories, learn what you can, find out what's coming from your favorite brands, and hopefully everyone enjoys those incredibly busy 7 weeks, 6 weeks with 7 winners. So we now go to the weekly roundup of stories for the podcast, and we're going to kick this episode off with news from Enhanced Labs. Now, Enhanced Labs has been basically doing athlete-themed products since earlier in the year. You may remember Rami's Rage, which was a pre-workout put together in partnership with, of course, Big Ramy, Enhanced Labs premier athlete, who came on board, I think, was it January, February this year? Obviously, Big Ramy becoming Mr. Olympia last year. It was a pretty big signing, and he also brought on board, the brand also brought on board alongside Ramy, Dennis James. And so we got Rami's Rage, the pre-workout in April, somewhere late April. After that, we got another Rami's Rage pre-workout, which was the stimulants, as the first one was stimulant-free. Then we got Isolate Whey Protein, which featured Ramy on it. And last week we got not one but 2 protein powders. The first one was Ramy's Whey, and that was a blend-style protein powder. Whereas the Isolate Whey Protein, true to the name, is like a straightforward lean whey isolate formula. This is the blend-style supplement, which is much more cost-effective, but relies on a blend of, I think it's a whey concentrate and whey isolate. I don't actually think we saw the full breakdown. I just know that it was a blend of whey proteins. It's more cost effective than that whey isolate, coming in at $64.99, I think, discounted. from, I can't remember the regular price, was discounted to $64.99, and that's for 69 servings at tub, so significantly more cost effective than the whey isolate. But that's to be expected. Whey isolates, of course, are as I said, the more premium protein powders where the blends tend to be more cost effective, and then sometimes you get the straight whey concentrate formulas and they can be even cheaper again. But the slightly bigger, and I do mean bigger, supplement that came out last week from Enhanced Labs and Big Ramy was a product called Big Ramy's Huge Gains. Now, as you can imagine, this is another protein supplement, specifically a mass protein, that is absolutely jam-packed with calories. The craziest thing is it comes in a 6-pound bag, and that 6 pounds, whereas, like I said, what the protein powder has 69 servings. When it comes to mass gainers, these numbers get pretty crazy. But from that 6-pound bag, the Big Ramy's Huge Gains has 14 servings. So these are some pretty beastie servings, and this product really does kind of live up to the name of Huge Gains, and it's fitting, of course, if you make a gainer based on Big Ramy, who is obviously 2-time Olympia champion, winning last year and repeating this year, and is known for the size. I mean, his name is Big Ramy. You know that this gainer is loaded, and Enhanced Labs really push for it. It's one of the few gainers that I know of that even gets close to the 1,500 calorie mark. There's a handful. There's a bunch that sit above the 1,000, some are around the 1,200. More recently, you see them sitting just under the 1,000 calorie mark. And I know any gainer can be, I'm talking calories per serving, obviously. If you have 50 grams of protein and 500 calories, yeah, you could probably take 3 servings and get 150 grams of protein and 1,500. I'm talking just the regular balance and serving. Most gainers these days sit under the 1,000 mark, usually 800 to 1,000. But yeah, Big Ramy's Huge Gains is 1,490 calories per serving with 60 grams of protein, 308 grams of carbohydrates with 6 grams of fat. So this thing is a beast. Like I said, I know of maybe 2 or 3 products that get into that area of 1,500, maybe one that goes a little further. But they are very rare. And I actually kind of like that they did this, the 1,500 calories, just to go full bore. Because again, this is Big Ramy's gainer. This is a Ramy that needs to match up to Big Ramy. And it kind of lives up to it. It's you can check it out on the site. You can buy it from Enhanced Labs website, and it's the price isn't too bad, $37.99 for 6 pounds, for 6-pound bag with 14 servings. And from what I know, there are more partnership products coming from Enhanced and Ramy, but I thought that one was pretty damn cool just to see the two get together and really pump out a gainer. You kind of saw it coming. I think when they did Ramy's Rage, the pre-workout and the protein, gainer just comes to mind when you think Big Ramy, and so they kind of delivered. The next story we have is actually, the next 2 stories we've got come from Europe, specifically the UK, and we got a bit of fun and exciting news from UFIT. Now, UFIT is a functional beverage brand. Now, you may not have heard of them. They're pretty well distributed in the UK. I've tried them a few times and I'm there. But they came out with quite a few developments this past couple of weeks. The first one was a new and improved version of its plant-based protein shake. Still packing 15 grams of protein. They didn't really describe too much, just sort of saying it's an improved version. We also got a limited edition flavor of its protein shake. This one's to go with the holidays and frosted gingerbread. And this is a flavor the brand has brought out before, but this year the packaging is a little different. And the other bit of news that we got comes all the way from, not all the way, it is a collaboration. And I thought this was a pretty cool collab because we hadn't really seen UFIT do a collab. It's not really something you see from every brand, specifically internationally. There are a few that do it, but Most of the companies doing collabs are in the US, but this one is more of a, I guess, that classic giveaway promotion collaboration. This isn't UFit coming together with a brand for a special edition flavor or theme flavor. It's a specially marked version, basically. So UFit has partnered up with the new Ghostbusters film, Ghostbusters Afterlife, that's coming to theaters soon. And UFit has basically put together special edition branded versions of its flagship protein shake with that 25 grams of protein. And the bottles have basically tweaked UFit's logo. So it's swapped out the U for the Ghostbusters logo. So it still says like UFit to some extent, but the U is replaced with the Ghostbusters logo. And then it has around the neck, it has basically a details on a promotion. And it is that promotion that I guess is kind of in partnership with Ghostbusters Afterlife. Because basically you grab one of these specially marked protein shakes and share it on Instagram, tag the brand, use the hashtag, and you can go in the draw to win a return trip from the UK to LA with 4 nights accommodation for a personal paranormal tour of the RMS Queen Mary and a twilight tour of Sony Pictures Studios. So it's a pretty beefy prize, and that's really the key highlight, the main point of the collab is that. Again, it's not really that special edition flavor we have been seeing, but cool nonetheless, especially from a company that, I don't think I've seen a partnership like that from before. But again, pretty cool. The next story we have, again, keeps us in the UK, and this one comes from MyProtein, and this one is a collaboration that's more into that style of two companies coming together to create something different. So MyProtein has partnered with the reputable chocolatier, Hotel Chocolat. It's a UK chocolate company. Has quite the reputation, been around for a while. Known for, obviously, its delicious chocolates. And so MyProtein and Hotel Chocolat have come together to create 2 special edition flavors of MyProtein's layered protein bar. Now, I've tried this bar before, and the one thing I liked about it was, so basically it's a 6-layer snack. So I remember when they said this, it was like 6 layers, it does this, this, and this, and I was like, okay, cool. Sometimes descriptions don't translate. When you try it, they're not wrong. This thing is 6 layers, and the distinctively different 6 layers. The only thing I didn't like about it is there wasn't a lot of flavor. You notice the consistency and change in texture, but the flavors and taste didn't vary all that much. They didn't differ. So it kind of lost its, I guess, surprise or appeal or excitement. But again, the consistency and textures and the fun of that was there. Just the flavor wasn't on par as much as I would have liked, I guess, at least compared to some of the other snacks like the Bear Bowls protein bar and the Grenade Carb Killer. So yeah, MyProtein and Hotel Chocolat have created a chocolate orange and a, what's the other one? I believe it's a chocolate and salted caramel. And so these come with their own little look, own little packaging. They come in boxes of 6 instead of the usual 12, so you get half as many bars per box, and the price on them isn't as cost effective. So a box of 6 of these Hotel Chocolat collaboration layered bars are £16.99, whereas a box of 12 of the regular layered bar flavors is £24.99. But the interesting part here is I think they might have actually done a better job at flavoring and taste on this. Not only because MyProtein has partnered with Hotel Chocolat to make these, and I guess Hotel Chocolat's putting its name to the flavors. MyProtein has specifically lowered the amount of protein you get in this to 18 grams instead of 20, and you get slightly more sugar than you do in the regular layered bars. So they've kind of, like I've said this many times before, less protein usually equals better taste and less aftertaste or chalkiness or whatever. And obviously more sugar makes something taste good too. So on paper, they sound like they've done things to specifically make these 2 special edition flavors taste at least better than the other ones, or at least sweeter or whatever. But on top of that, MyProtein and Hotel Chocolat have made these 2 flavors with couverture chocolate, or dark couverture. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but it is a premium chocolate used by chocolatiers. It's basically it sounds like a richer, tastier chocolate, and these two flavors are made with that type of chocolate. It's specifically listed on the ingredients panels of these products. So, I mean, if I were to judge based on paper, and that's not always the best thing to do when it comes to protein snacks, these things sound pretty damn good. At least even if like, you know, even if you weren't like me and you loved the layered protein bars, no matter what you think, these sound like a big step up from anything else the layered bar already has on its menu. Again, that lighter protein, more sugar, that premium dark chocolate. I mean, and again, Hotel Chocolate's putting its name to it. They aren't just anybody. This is a premium chocolatier. So, I mean, I definitely would try these if I could get my hands on them, if they were nearby. So, if you are in the UK and Europe, again, these are a lot of the releases we talk about on here. Are all of them are My Protein International, My Protein UK and Europe. My Protein does have a presence in the US, but the selection is much smaller. You very rarely see products launched there than before in the UK and Europe. So yeah, but yeah, you can grab this from myprotein.com. Pretty cool to see. My Protein's done quite a few collaborations, but this one sounds like this one's actually like a flavor combination, and sounds like it might be their damn tastiest to date. So check it out if you can, and if you do, message me on Instagram, message us on Stack3d. I'd be interested to hear how different this one is. The next story we have is actually another collaboration. In fact, the last few stories we have are collaborations. I don't know if I'm going to get through them all, but we'll give it a go. And they take us back to the main US market. And the first one we've got is ProSup's veteran legacy supplement brand ProSup's. They teamed up with their athlete Kamaru Usman, who's a UFC champion, nicknamed the Nigerian Nightmare. Now, they teamed up with him to create a new pre-workout called Hide Nightmare. They don't actually say Kamaru Usman on the product, but the marketing on social media and on their site, and the fact that obviously Kamaru Usman's nickname is the Nigerian Nightmare, that's kind of the connection I think they're going with, that kind of reinforces the collaboration. But this isn't a special edition version of any other Hide. This is actually a separate pre-workout called Hide Nightmare with a formula that's similar to some of its other pre-workouts, but kind of different on its own. It's a well-rounded pre-workout, moderate dosages. You get things like 4 grams of citrulline, pure citrulline for pumps, 2.5 for beta-alanine, alpha GPC's in there as well at 200. There's a 3-source caffeine blend at 300 milligrams. Himalayan pink salt, theanine's in there as well, and N-acetyl L-carnitine. So it's not a hugely loaded list. Kind of similar to the other Hides in it, but this one is like a different blend, different ingredients, but same kind of style, reliable ingredients, moderate dosages. And yeah, you can, I believe you can pre-order it from their brand's website starting this week. It comes a little above the other Hides, but still below the most expensive Hide, which I believe is Hide Test Surge, which is their testosterone boosting infused pre-workout. So it'll cost you $39.99, and if I remember correctly, this week, if you pre-order it, it's due to ship within like a week or and a half, you'll get a free shaker. And that shaker is also themed around the whole Hide Nightmare and whatnot. The next collaboration we have to talk about is another pretty cool one, and it's becoming regular theme basically. G Fuel has announced another collaboration. If you read every story we share on Stack, you will know that G Fuel, I think they've been in the news every week, sometimes twice a week for the past, I feel like a whole year, I don't know. But last week we got news of a pretty cool collaboration, which if you know G Fuel, you know that they are extremely frequent with collaborations, teaming up with athletes, companies, organizations, video games, popular culture characters. And this week we got a partnership from G Fuel with Ron's Gone Wrong, which is a new animated film that's hit theaters last week. It involves basically, it's kind of like they come out with robots that are intended to be similar to smartphones. They just sort of do everything for you, and they're designed for children and kids. And this dude gets one that's not so up to scratch, and he's kind of the key character. He's a little bit dysfunctional. The robot is a little bit off, and his name's Ron, hence the name of the film, Ron's Gone Wrong. And G Fuel teamed up with Ron's Gone Wrong for a special edition flavor called Bebot, or Bebot Mix. Bebot is actually the name of the robots that the kids use to gain the sort of smartphone-like features. And that's the kind of robot Ron is as well. And hence the name Bebot Mix. And the interesting part about it, though, is that I thought it was kind of fitting because, again, it's an animated film, more family-orientated. So they haven't put together the flavor for G Fuel gaming supplement or the G Fuel energy drink. They've put it together for G Fuel's sparkling hydration beverage, which is their kind of sleeker, slimmer, bottled beverage to support hydration. Called Bebot Mix. I don't think they've mentioned what the flavor actually tastes like. I don't think I remember seeing it anywhere. But obviously, I think it's coming soon. It's not available yet. I recall them saying it'll be available soon. I think they just kind of maybe shared it to go with the launch of Ron's Gone Wrong. And it has all the usual features, so electrolytes to support hydration with zero sugar. You can check out the product on our site. We've got a good picture of it. And it will also be exclusive to Amazon, so you won't be able to pick this up from the G Fuel website like every other G Fuel product. It'll be exclusive to Amazon. The last story we have is a pretty big one that we had heard about a little bit earlier, and we're waiting for the 18th to kind of announce and share. And again, this one sent some pretty big shockwaves through the industry. It was pretty cool. So if you remember last year, Dymatize teamed up with the cereal company Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles. The cereal company behind those two, and it made Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles flavors of its ISO100 protein powder. And that was one of the biggest collaborations we had shared on Stack for, a very, very long time. It just went off. It just seemed to hit all the right notes. People seemed to react and love it a lot. It was just incredibly well received. This year, Dymatize has partnered up with another company, and I think that they're just really nailing these collaborations. Last year was Fruity Pebbles, and this year they have another one that was just incredibly well received by our fans and readers. And I think it definitely paves the way for some pretty big collaborations down the road. But Dymatize has teamed up with Dunkin, obviously known for its donuts and coffees, and it has teamed up with Dunkin for two coffee-themed flavors, Dunkin Cappuccino and Dunkin Iced Mocha. And so they're kind of the brand team, not Iced Mocha, Mocha Latte. So Dymatize teamed up with Dunkin to create these two authentic coffee-type protein powders. So they are for ISO100 protein powder, just like the Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles. So that you still get that lean ISO100 nutrition profile with 125 grams of protein per serving, all from whey isolate, 1 to 3 grams of carbs, under a gram of that sugar, under a gram fat, and 110 to 120 calories. Now, to, I guess, really make this a coffee-like experience, each serving of these flavors, both the cappuccino and mocha latte collaborations, they come with 95 milligrams of caffeine. So if you're a 2-scooper, you're going to be throwing back 190 milligrams of caffeine in your shake. So definitely be aware of that. Obviously, if you're a coffee fan, it's probably not going to bother you all that much if you're having it in the morning again. But it is worth knowing and worth being aware of, obviously, because not everyone looks forward to caffeine or plans there. They may want to have it for people. You get what I'm saying. It's not necessarily something everyone wants, so definitely note that. But it was just incredibly well received. Both of those products just went off. People were looking at them, reading them, visiting the site. They were available first through Vitamin Shop. I believe they're at $29.99 or on sale at $29.99 for a tub of 20 servings. And then they also became available at bodybuilding.com for slightly less at $26.97. And that's without a sale or anything. But if you're a part of bodybuilding.com's BodyFit program, you can bring that even further down to $24.27 per tub. So they're now out there, both at Vitamin Shop and bodybuilding.com. And like I said, these are some pretty big flavors. It's pretty impressive to see them Dymatize hook up with Dunkin. And I did say, the potential future of this partnership and collaboration. I mean, while these collaborations went off, the coffee theme, cappuccino and mocha latte, if they did a classic or a frosted or a Boston cream or whatever donut based on Dunkin' Donuts, that this, if you told me you're partnering with Dunkin', I would have thought that would have been what it was. So I almost feel like this is kind of a warm-up almost, maybe. I know they went off, but you have to imagine that it's crossed their mind to say, hey, how about we partner with Dunkin' Donuts for a donut-themed flavor of ISO100 protein powder. These were a huge hit, but, you got to be hyped for that potential, a jelly donut, whatever, just having that kind of infusion and that familiarity with Dunkin's branding and donuts. It would make for a pretty damn cool flavor, and I have to imagine that it was mentioned or brought up, maybe even in the works, I don't know. But I'm damn excited to see where this goes. I just love how Dymatize hit it out of the park with their Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles, which, worth noting, I think they still are. They're the first ever authentic cereal collaboration. So we've seen plenty of brands do cereal-themed flavors and use cereal pieces, but no one had ever teamed up with an actual cereal company. Kind of like when Ghost teamed up with the Warheads. That was the first time we had seen Ghost, or any brand, team up with an actual candy company. We'd seen candy flavors. We'd never seen a company team up with an actual candy brand. And that was the first time we'd seen anybody team up with an actual cereal company. And then, what do you say? A year and a half later, Dymatize goes with Dunkin' and hits another collaboration out of the park. They seem to be picking them well. I look forward to see how this grows, if it expands, if there's more on the road coming down the line. But if you want to check them out, just head to the website, type in Dunkin'. It is definitely the only post that we've shared on Stack that has that name in it or that keyword. But thank you for listening. Hopefully, be back again next week, and look forward to having you.